at this time of the year, how do you enjoy the journey when everything about this time of the year is what's next?
Well, good morning to you too. Just trying to stay present, stay in the moment. I think that's been an emphasis for a team, not looking to the future, not worried about the past, but trying to be the best version of ourselves every single day. And you can't win the next game if you don't win the practice ahead, the weight room session ahead, and conquer everything that's in front of you. So one day, one moment at a time.
Hi guys, Kendra Andrews, ESPN. This question is for both of you. There's not a lot of USC film without JuJu on the floor, so how do you guys prepare to take on this team that will look a lot different without playing through her?
Paige.
Yeah, I think they run a lot of sets. They're going through Kiki a lot now to get buckets. She's a great player. They're still a great team, and they have great pieces. They made it to the Elite-8 for a reason. Obviously, losing a player like JuJu hurts, but they're still a great team. They still got great pieces. I think they run the same sets, but for different people. So scouting that, looking at that, knowing the offense, knowing what they run, and just trying to make them as uncomfortable as possible. But they've got players that have filled the void, that have stepped up huge. And so I think it's just a matter of learning their sets and knowing other people's tendencies.
Izzy?
You did a great job answering that.
You have anything to add?
No.
Ryan Karchi, LA Times. For Paige, what do you recall about the way USC defended you back in the matchup in December, and what is it about their defense overall that makes them so tough on that end?
Yeah, they're a really good defensive team. They have great guard defense. They have great interior defense. They get out, deny, make things difficult, pressure, try to turn you over, speed you up. And so we just got to stay composed, stay playing our tempo and our pace. But they do a really good job of trying to create chaos and force turnovers and being aggressive on the defensive end, which leads to what they want to do on offense. So just knowing that and being prepared for that.
Henry Moe, Daily Trojan. Paige, can you talk specifically about what Kennedy Smith brings as an on-ball defender, and are you expecting to see a lot of that matchup, and if so, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, she's a great defender. You would think is not a freshman the way she's experienced and the way she plays defense, but just her mentality, her tenacity, her length, her agility, her speed, her lateral movement. She does a really good job of anticipating as well. She has great defensive instincts. So she's a great defensive player. And so I don't know who she'll be matched up against, but she does a great job defensively.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. You both have had knee injuries, and I'm wondering if you could say what is the toughest part of the rehabilitation? And then Paige, when you have a game like last night, what kind of encouragement should that give JuJu that you can go through something like this and come back not only as good as you are, but even better possibly?
You go first. What's the toughest part?
Izzy, you want to go first?
Yeah. For me, I would say the toughest part was mentally. I think as an athlete, we know how to get through the hard stuff physically. Every day in practice is hard. During the season is hard. Lifting is hard. So for me, it was mentally and just trying to be in a good place that I can, find positives in this rehab process when the only thing I want to do is be on the court with my team and playing. So I think mentally was where I grew the most last year, and still now I'm still growing, still working on it. But I think that's definitely was the hardest part and where I grew the most.
Yeah, when I was coming back from my injury, I drew a lot of inspiration from my teammates, from people who came back from major injuries. Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart were a couple of them, and then a lot of my teammates actually had ACL injuries prior to when I had it. So just looking at them for inspiration and looking at them as a blueprint and a how-to, and knowing that what their story, their journey, and how they came back from it, and using it as inspiration to what I want to accomplish. And so just to be able, I know last year a huge part of my journey was wanting to inspire people who have gone through terrible injuries, devastating blows, that you can come back better and stronger, and nobody can write you off. Nobody can put you in a box to injury-riddled narratives, this, that, but you can break all those narratives, and you can come back better than ever, mentally, physically, emotionally. So that was a huge inspiration that I drew from, and you hope to inspire as well.
Hi, this is Annie Peterson from Associated Press. This is for both of you. The UCLA players talked about working with sports psychologists, and they have a mind gym, and they center mental health and how it's helped them, especially, at this point of the year. I'm wondering how much you guys rely on a sports psychologist at this time of year and how it helps your team.
Paige?
Yeah, I work with a sports psychologist. I know a lot of people on the team do, but it's just a grounding point of a person who you can go to, and there's no judgment. It's a judgment-free zone, and they can just talk to you about anything, just ease your nerves, calm you down, get you to focus on everything but what's going on in the present, and just trying to be, the best version of yourself. I know a lot of things can happen during this time, a lot of pressures, the stakes, what you're trying to accomplish. You can get caught up in that, but just I know a huge emphasis for me was staying present, staying in the moment, standing firm in who we are as a team, who we want to be as individuals, and just not getting too caught up in anything else, but trying to be present for the team, enjoy every moment.
Izzy?
Yeah, I think talking to someone is super helpful. I know it's helped me a lot this year, and having that kind of foundation of talking to them all year has helped. Now being in March, I know I just have a better sense of like where I am, not getting stressed, not feeling the pressure. But I think it definitely helps just having that relationship with them. And like she said, it's a judgment-free zone. You can go to them for anything. And yeah, I would say a huge emphasis for me also is staying present this year and controlling the controllables, making sure that, in order to do what I do best is like I can't get outside of myself. So knowing what I can control, not getting upset with the things that I can't, and making sure I'm just, doing what I can.
Kevin Pelton, ESPN.com. Paige, was there anyone kind of notable that you heard from after last night's game, or that stood out after that kind of performance on the stage?
Lots of friends, lots of family. Just reaching out, offering support. Yeah, that's about it.
Let's go to Zoom for a question from Patrick Waring. Patrick?
Hey, how you doing? My question's for Azzi. Azzi, obviously you come from a basketball family, and you're also from the DMV. Just wanted to kind of ask you, how does both of those, how have they prepared you for success at this level?
Yeah, I think having, I think coming from a basketball family, having two parents that played and coached me growing up, I can't imagine growing up any other way. I mean, they're the reason that I am the way I am, the reason that I have my work ethic and my kind of detail-oriented mindset, and also like the reason for my shot. So I kind of thank them for everything. But I think that kind of set the foundation for me on like what to expect, just my mindset of never settling, never getting complacent, and then being in the DMV, they've got some of the best basketball, so competing at such a high level. From when I was younger to high school, and now seeing all the people I played against in high school, still playing in March and doing well, like always supporting other DMV athletes. But I think just getting to compete at such a high level at a young age definitely helped prepare me for now.
Let's go to R. Cleveland on Zoom.
I mean, Coach always talks about how difficult the Elite-8 game is because there's so much at stake. You've had your biggest games in the Elite-8 round against Baylor, North Carolina State, USC. You scored 27 or 28 in each of those games. Do you just get up mentally for that big game because there's so much at stake?
You try not to think about the stakes or the pressure or getting to the Final Four, obviously. That's there. So you try not to think about it and just go out and play every single game the same way, like it's your last, like it's the most important 40 minutes of your life. So whatever that calls for on any given night, you just try to do that and prepare for that. But as a team, we just want the season to keep going as long as possible. So leaving nothing up to chance, giving it all, like I said, for that 40 minutes to play for another 40 is our team mindset.
We have time for one more question, and if there is one in the room.
Kevin Pelton, ESPN.com. Azzi, how different do you feel kind of physically and mentally from the last time you faced USC coming off, multiple injuries in sort of a sense?
Yeah, I feel completely different. I mean, I tried to play in our last game against USC and I just wasn't ready, and that's okay. But so yeah, I feel like a completely different player. Definitely a completely different mindset as well. But I'm super excited, and yeah, I mean, I feel I'm in a complete different place than I was then. So I'm excited to play.